head coach in franchise history is going to be announced tomorrow, Thursday, today, or whenever you're listening to this. And it is expected to be Jeff Blashill,
Yeah.
former Detroit Red Wing head coach. He is currently an assistant on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Tanner, you have all of his accolades, and we're talking about everything that he's done in his rise to the top ranks. So why don't you take it away and fill in everybody who this next
So,
coach is?
yes. So everybody may know him or may be most fond of like what he's done with just how he coached Detroit, right?
Right.
From 2018, 2019. Oh, wait, here, I have it right here. I'm an idiot. 2015, 16 to 21, 22. It's kind of, it was the start of the decline for Detroit. His first season, they made it to the playoffs, lost to Tampa, and then from there, kind of went downhill. But yeah, for the most part, I'm just going to put it out there. It was not because of his coaching.
I
Like
was gonna say,
that team was on the downhill slide.
I'm gonna jump in and say this was also the time when Lindstrom was getting older,
Mm-hmm.
Zetterberg,
Datsuk literally retired like
yeah,
within the first season or two.
this was the team that was built around those guys and
Mm-hmm.
really didn't focus on their farm system and
Oh yeah, I don't even
bringing
know if
in.
they hadn't used a first round pick in like 15 years. I think it was something crazy.
So okay,
Um
continue with his resume.
anyway, before he gets there, this is what is good. Um he was a coach for a USHL team called the Indiana Ice. And this is in 2008. Because I'm not going to go before that because he was just kind of an assistant coach for Miami University or in like Ferris State. But his first head coaching role, and he was general manager, was with Indiana Ice in 2008. And in that first season, they won the USHL championship. Not too shabby, right?
Not a big deal.
Not a big deal. The following year, he became the Western Michigan University head coach. Is it the following year? Oh, sorry, it's the year after. He was the Indiana Ice head coach for 2 years, and then the next year he was Western Michigan's head coach. Um, and Western Michigan at the time wasn't seeing very much success. Not like this past season where they won it all. Um, but at that moment, he led Western Michigan to a top four finish in the CCHA and the CCHA championship game, as well as their first appearance in like 15 years. Or no, it was just the most successful season in 15 years. But they also had an appearance in um, the tournament at the end of the year, NCAA tournament. So after that one season, he was named the USCHO Coach of the Year. He was Inside College Hockey Coach of the Year, as well as College Hockey News Coach of the Year, which is pretty great, right? Say that good coach gets a
Good
lot of
coach.
accolades.
Lots
Um,
of development coaching and getting players to the next level.
yeah. So just after the 1 year in Western Michigan, he gets brought onto Mike Babcock's team as an assistant coach for the Detroit Red Wings in 2011. Um, he's literally just there with Babcock for one season before they transition him to be the head coach of the Grand Rapids Griffins. And guess what? First year with the Grand Rapids Griffins, Calder Cup.
Boom.
That's kind of nice. Um, and then after that, there was 2 more years with Grand Rapids and playoffs both times. The following year after the Calder Cup, they went to the conference semifinals and lost. And then the year after that, they went to the conference finals. And then that's when he took over as the head coach of Detroit, because they kicked Babcock to the curb, and that was just the unfortunate slide, the start of the slide for Detroit. Not much to work with. Aging veterans, kind of like an in between team that took a while to finally say like they're needing to rebuild. Um, other than that, as like his head coaching kind of experience, he has spent the last few years in Tampa. And some people you mentioned to me earlier before was like online, they're like, he hasn't head coached since Detroit. Now that like he's not going to be good. It's like, okay, that's fine, but he's been an assistant in Tampa
So no,
where
so
he's
the pushback was people are talking about we're talking about his Grand Rapid days and what he did well, and he was seen as a great developing coach and working with younger players, and people were like, well, he hasn't been in an AHL developing coach in 10 years or 10 plus years, whatever it was. That's what people were kind of pushing back on and saying like it's not going to work with. Well, they're like, oh, you're bringing in a coach to develop like Bedard and Azar, all these guys, and you're bringing a guy that hasn't done this in like 10 plus years. That's not how that works, but okay.
Yeah, but they like are completely disregarding that this guy has spent the last few seasons literally as the assistant coach to one of the I want to say the longest tenured coach in the NHL.
I believe so. Yeah, I looked it up.
One of the more currently successful coaches in the NHL. I'd say like that's pretty fucking good experience to gain. Right?
100%. Oh, dude, don't do a fucking countdown, you stupid nerds.
For what?
John Cooper is the longest tenure.
Yeah.
They're doing 1 or 10, 9, 8, 7.
Who is? What are you talking about?
This list, the website that I Googled to see who the longest tenure. Instead of just listing them, it's like, here's the 10th, here's the 9th, here's the 7th.
It's not like it's a fucking rating system. It's a
dude, like, just list them.
They've either been there long enough or they haven't. Like you can't rate them. You can't rate them based on how long they've been somewhere. That's so dumb. So John Cooper, one of the best coaches in the league right now. He's just been assistant coaching under him. You figure he might pick up a thing or two from that guy.
Yeah.
Like how to run a team, especially a championship caliber team. He already knows how to develop players. You think that he just fucking forgets how to do that? Like,
no, man, you don't do it. It's like, 4-year-old virgin. Is it true? If you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah, right. It's just funny to me that people will try and like do whatever they can to discredit like the choices that the Hawks make. When I think this is actually this is really funny on the Wikipedia page. It says that he's the coach of the Blackhawks.
Is it?
Yeah, it says it's. I just looked at the first line. It says Jeff Blashill is an American professional ice hockey coach who is the head coach of the Chicago Blackhawks of the National Hockey League. It's like, okay, somebody already updated that. It sounds good. But I think this honestly could be one of like. It has the possibility to be like the perfect signing. A guy that has experience developing players, as well as spending the last few years learning but like gaining experience under like one of the best head coaches in the league. So he knows how to develop players. He knows how a championship team should be working. This could be really good.
He's had his cup of coffee in the NHL. It didn't work out.
Yep.
Gets an opportunity.
He's learned from the mistakes that were made.
Exactly. Guaranteed. That is what I'm really excited about. It's because it's like it's not a first-time coach. It's a coach that was there. He failed. So now I want to see how he learned from that. And especially, like you said, you hit home, learning from under John Cooper and all that kind of stuff. 7
years as a head coach in the NHL, 537 games. That's not a small amount of time. That's a good amount of experience.
So he knows he has the base. It didn't work out. He's had the opportunity to learn under John Cooper. Now I'm excited to see what he can do. He's coming in with a team that is the opposite of Detroit. It's on the upswing. You have another 3rd overall pick coming in. You have a GM that's committed to spending some money this coming off season. And is going to be in a position to, well, I mean, I don't know. You're not going to spend a lot of money, but it seems like there's going to be a piece or two added